And hello, you archaeologists. I'm the John Struct. Welcome to the proximity. I'm having a golden idol adventure. That is the case of the golden idol, which I'm covering up right now. There it is. It's rotating on the screen. You can. No, that's not hiding. That's adding another one of those things. Okay, let's bring myself back into the fold. Is it day 17? It is. The archaeologists. Yes, I guess that would be a. Archaeology is obviously a large aspect of this game. Let's continue. I believe you mentioned, Rambler, that you've seen bits and pieces of this game. Although I'm quite close to the end. We're going to go through the story so far. What I like about this game is you're semi-encouraged to like leave and come back and look at an earlier episode. I mean, you know, it lets you do that, which I kind of wish I did earlier on. But we'll go through. We'll go through very quickly. I like because you can actually just read here. While Dr. Oberon Geller was surveying the poor weather with his looking glass, his expedition partner Albert Cloudsley, Esquire, suddenly pushed him off a cliff. I have done these three, and these two. The dining room murder is right here. So I've done this one. This is the one I'm going to do next. Right, and we'll have a quick look at the scene. Here's all the mysteries are solved. So there's a map. It's going to be kind of important, this map. And the other thing that's kind of important is nothing in this scene. I do wish you could... The shortcuts were a little bit faster. This one. While the Lord of Blackfield was hunting, his horse threw him off and suffered a deadly wound to the head. The horse? And there we go. He's dead. He was dead at the time. And of course, the idol is right there. And pay attention to this jacket in this helmet. These did not go unnoticed. Nor did this ring. Cool. Oh, yes. Yeah, that's perfect. Yeah, I'm just reminding myself and potential future viewers. Not yet. My invisible cup. He's the best character. It's my favourite. It's three of the family members at the funeral. And there we go. This was our first widescreen. Specifically, he's been given the idol, and he has the ring with the ruby. All the way through the game, I was like, this bloody ruby keeps being... What's the significance of the ruby? And this guy, the most competent person in this game, unless you count this guy here, and he's got the ring as well, because I did check. And the Batley, he gets a little dinosaur. Right. Let's return to the scenario. Which one? What does that say? Peter Batley, encumbered by his gambling debts, had placed high hopes on his uncle's testament upon discovering he had inherited nothing but a book of aphorisms. He tore up the will and ordered his servants to take the golden statue from the stranger Willard. Suddenly one of the servants burst into flames. Willard did not survive very long, though. Because, unfortunately, Willard dead. There's his ring there. It wasn't Robert Redroof. Also with his shears. Robert Redroof. I have to assume that this is a reference to Obra Dinn. Because that's a interesting coincidence. Otherwise. What an interesting fellow. But yeah, there's a... this one threw me because I was like, this is before I knew you could leave. So I was like, hang on, is that... I think I called him Willard Wright because I was like, no, I know you. And then it was Ash Blair, and it's like, oh, of course, because he's named after himself after the tobacco. Yeah, but like that, they're both in Cornwall is an interesting coincidence, because you know Red Roof is in Cornwall, and Red Roof is not a common name. You know, Cornwall's. Yeah, Falmouth and Red Roof are within throwing distance. I mean, with a trebuchet. So a man going by the name of Ash Blair. I feel like Ash Blair would be common enough tobacco for people to be like, huh. Willard's room for the trapdoor to steal something important, but he opened the music box. It woke Willard up, and the fight ensued. In the fracas, Ash stabbed Willard and attempted to frame an escaped convict. I'm thinking he did, because... And there's Little Mermaid. So somebody with a very fancy hat. You know, the one thing I dislike, and the ruby ring. The one thing I dislike about this game is these text boxes, and also just the resolution of these videos. There's a slight sheen to them, a slight blur. I mean, it's like not bad, but it sort of betrays a like everything else is painstakingly in this resolution, and then suddenly it sort of changes the flavour. So at the time, okay, Ada Baker received encoded instructions from Dark Hand Steward. That took me bloody ages, and I accidentally put Dark Hand in it, and I was like, what? To poison Edmund Cloudsley, she used her ability to move freely throughout the rooms. While cleaning and made a copy of the key to the medicine cabinet, she used a syringe to poison a sealed peptic tonic bottle. However, during the party, Rose asked for the tonic and drank it first and died from the poison. Have a quick look. This is clever. I like this. And it's why I don't want to have the sparkle on unless I really need it. I have, so you can do that. And it would have made it... I mean, it would have ruined this puzzle. So I have used it on the later ones, just when I've been, like, really stuck. And it's always a word. It's always a word I'm really stuck on. Like, in one book. I mean, there's loads of books. It's really easy to just miss one word. But yeah, there's a Little Pip. And, you know, the best character. Just Peter Bately. I hope the real villain of this game, and nobody with rings in this game. There's his fancy hat again, of course. We'll recognise that. Although weirdly enough, it's Little Pip again. He was the most competent character, but he's not doing terribly well there. He does have his ring. I don't understand the logic of him just having a book of hats. Just like, these are my favourite hats. Really into hats. Vitally important, you know, at all times. I'm really into hats. I'm also into hats. There's a horse again. It's his favourite hats. Gotta have pictures of this thing. Set on those. And here's a guy who I've been reliably informed died. He is a man with many hats. So let's... To gain entrance to Edmund Cloudley's secret forest cabin, gentleman robber Walter Keane pretended to deliver the corpse to Edmund for his experiments. On entering the cabin, the robbers ambushed the servants and Edmund locked himself in his study. While the robbers were soaring through the lock, Edmund prepared a trap with the idol that killed two of the intruders. And if we look at this, there he is. So in this scene, yeah, it might be... I don't know what it is about it. It's so he's explaining that Edmund Cloudsley got caught in the blast and he died soon afterwards. And even in this scene, I said, I don't think he did. I think they would have shown me if he died. I am skeptical. This is a good talk. Good talk. Although it took me until this scene to realise what had happened. Obviously, this one took a while. So the game's done a good enough job of just randomly adding enough people that I just didn't blink. You know, I didn't bat an eyelid when Lazarus Hearst turned up. I remember the name is a bit suspicious, but yeah, I am pretty confident that is Edmund Cloudsley, and he's used the idol to make himself young again. I have not had that confirmed by the game. I just reckon it it makes a lot more sense after the next one, my theory. So I didn't come up with the theory until the next one. But I still don't understand how that means fire or that means tree. But that is the correct answer. And obviously we get to see all these. I think this is the one where I just couldn't find a goddamn word. It took me ages to find the last one. Also, I found out you don't need to name this guy. I know his name. It's Jeffrey Sinclair. But, like, it accepted Water Snake Stewart. And it took me writing this to realise David Goran and Walter Keane are working together. And then, like... So I didn't really fully understand this. Like, I got all the positions right, but it's reading this going, oh, they're working together for some reason. And then it's like, oh, he recruited him. So let's... and there he is. And there's his hat. For some reason, it's vitally important, brings all his hats with him. So yeah, it's here that I went, oh... That's Edmund Cloudsley. This one as well. I didn't quite grasp the scenario until I read it out loud. After being challenged to a ritual with potentially deadly consequences, Walter conspired with David to devise a plan which would ensure his own safety. They captured a Brotherhood member on his way to the gathering. David took off his costume. So like as soon as it starts, you're like, okay, yeah, they're obviously working together, but like, you know, it's difficult then. During the ritual, the dispute, he could indicate to Walter which cup was poisoned. Therefore, Walter chose the safe cup, and his opponent drank the poison and died. Yeah, like I knew he fell, and I knew it was locked. But like, there's literally a path there. Like they show it and make us look at everyone's shoes. So I don't know. I just didn't realize he was trying to fly. And there he is. I was like, I knew it. I knew you'll remember that ruby ring. And presumably these are all people in the previous scene as well. So it's when Lazarus Hurst. There's no D. It's just like a little pogo stick. Jumped from the lighthouse and survived using a hidden golden idol. Master Angus McBain thought he had enough information to repeat the miracle and prevent Lazarus from becoming Griffin reborn. He seized the staff from Lazarus and locked the lighthouse door to prevent foul play. However, he did not know all the secrets of the idol. He did not work for him, and the Angus jumped to his death. I really actually like how this game works, where all these, once you put them together, you really like you understand the situation a lot more than just seeing this. And I feel like that might be obvious, but like it just is a really interesting way of doing it. I also like that these names are entirely guessable from the designs. I would have guessed all three of these names. In fact, I did guess those two names, but like when you only got two names, it's kind of obvious. Anyway, that's the recap over. Yeah, because it didn't... Oh, this was one where I took me goddamn ages to find the final word. But yeah, I had to guess those names. And I knew it was those three, so like... as soon as... yeah. That sort of confirms that it's Edmund Cloudsley, that he had it first. And I was like, okay, no, I get it. I get the order of operations. I get this. I also enjoy that Angus McBain just was really into going, no, I can do your bloody miracles as well. He really didn't want any frauds. Right. I have clicked on this, so it's not, you're not going to get the little intro, because interrupted weekend at the doctor's salon. There seems to be only 2 scenes. Let's collect our suspects, shall we? Ah, Leopold, your plan to frame Patu? Hang on. Why is Leopold not a name? But your missing button is more than enough. Proof that you did it. Constable, please escort this man out. This is such a mess. We'll clean the blood out of the rug. Oh Lord, I did not expect something like this in our household. Don, not yet. James, this is preposterous. You know damn well that he was killed by that Lemurian savage. Dear friend, now that the elections are over, please join me for a leisurely weekend at my manor with good old Augustus and some other fine fellows. We'll have some drinks and discuss what to do with that Prime Minister position. Kindly confirm your presence, Dr. James Turner. I know who you are. Maybe it's Arthur Faulkner, even. I don't know, I just assumed it was you or someone else. This is outrageous. I thought we were an honourable man, Leopold, not some Anquitan agent trying to sabotage our friendly relations with Lemuria and provoke a conflict. Oh. Stole his life just like that. The doctor is a smart man since he saw through his lies. Dear friend, this is, at one of the balls you said that you would love to meet somebody actually interesting. I'm having a weekend of drinks at my manor, and the prince from the 11th clan of Lemuria will be joining us. Please do the honour of your company too. Doesn't say his name. I hope the host did not notice me when he was leaning over the sleeping eye patch gentleman. It's interesting. Dear Prince, I heard that you were invited to a party by the director of Seven Seas Company himself. See, these companies have been... I also like how they've been seeding the companies, and that, like, certain characters have existed longer than they've been on screen. We know that you hate associating with invaders and thieves, but this might be the opportunity that we seek to reclaim our honour. There's a club. Dear Prince, as you know, I am a great aficionado of Lemurian culture. It would be my pleasure to invite a member of the Patu clan to spend a leisurely weekend at my estate with some of my own political dignitaries. Please confirm your presence, Dr. James Turner. Well, he's not doing great, having a great time. Listen, apologies for the shouting match yesterday. Let's confirm our discussion at noon. Dear friend, the elections are over, so let's uphold tradition and have a leisurely weekend at my place for you and Leopold to discuss the Prime Minister's situation. Please join us on May the 12th. These goddamn things. The seals of the 12 Lemurian clans. Well, that's interesting. I know some of these shapes. Yeah, I don't know where James Turner is. We know who he is, right? If we... I'll just double check. Hang on. That's... oh, that's James Turner there. It's James Turner, Alistair Coke. So I'm still not great with names. So, why couldn't I grab his name? Yeah, I thought he wasn't there. Arthur Faulkner. I mean, we'll fill in Arthur Faulkner, because why not? Why have I not got James Turner on... Okay, testimonies. Oh, God. Put the names over there. Have a little bit of a sort. A clean constable's pike. Okay. Well, this will be drugged symptoms. Obviously, I won't need this till later. Okay, field, tea house, chess house, fountain, flower beds. Flower bed. Oh my word. Right, we're going to have to go through the testimonies. Glass of sherry. Almost empty glass of sherry. It's the London Gazette. Who will be the new Prime Minister? New Order Party, the Moderates, or the Loyalists? Well, it looks like the NWP took it. Well, one of the Moderates looks like he got killed. The New Order Party have the most MPs, but it's clear from the two old parties will form a coalition. This means either the Loyalist leader Blanchard or Moderate leader Valentine. Yes. So Edmund Cloudsley was a failed politician, I think, at the start of the game. So he always had designs. Or leaving Lazarus Hurst and his party in the opposition. So my theory tracks. Some tea. Some tea! And it makes sense that he's widening his control, his scope. Like the first thing he did was take over the organization that was trying to kill him. Under my theory. Right, let's read the testimonies. I mean, we really should need to fill in everyone's name. That is Valentine of the Moderates. The picture of the other guy, it's hard to tell. He's got an eye patch though. So eye patch. Blanchard. So Valentine, Blanchard. Yes. I can't seem to zoom in because the way the thing works. We know James Turner works for Hearst. Who's Leopold? Well, we'll get to there, won't we? Anything else? He's Patu, isn't he? I believe he's a member of Patu clan. Leopold Blanchard. Oh, look at this. It even says, let the prince... This is going to help me. The prince, the loyalist, the gardener, the doctor. Cool. We'll double check our letters. Prince. Oh, of course. Friend. What sort of wound is that? Huge vertical wound on his forehead. Friend. Leo. So Leo for Leopold. Well, this seems like it's going to be complex. This might be the entire stream, which is fair enough. I'm glad, because we're close to the end of this game. I believe there's only 3 more after this. John, you're pulling it off. Leopold. No. We want it to be somebody I know. So we'll start with James. He claims... Oh, I'm going to need one of those thingies. Drank a glass of sour sherry with Blanchard in the library in the morning. Then he went to the chess house where he found Lord Alistair and the butler. I do have Alistair. Ordered the butler to clean up the library, get rid of the bad sherry. Spent the rest of the time playing chess with Alistair until the alarm was raised. NB, I don't know what NB means. As the master of the house, he led the interrogation of the suspects. Right. We'll be reading these lots. Somebody called Billiam. Oh well, I don't know anyone else. He had a glass of sherry with James and in the library and became drowsy. As he was falling asleep, he saw the Lemurian observing him through the glass door. Woke up, found the butler on the floor asleep. Woke the butler, entered the salon, found the body. Upon inspecting the weapon, deduced that Lemurian was the murderer. Instructed the butler to raise the alarm. Okay, well, just go through the things, John. I also wish there was a natural back. To Leopold. Gideon played croquet with Ergin. In the morning, they got bored and went to drink in the tea house. I'm bored of this croquet, let's drink tea. Ergin drew his attention to the interesting design of the chess house. Saw Lord Alistair Coke lecture the butler. Okay, well, your Coke. Oh yeah, we have his name already. Saw Master Turner come to the chess house and sent the butler away, just as Ergin was remarking on the beauty of the chess house. Saw Lord Alistair leave the chess house and return shortly afterwards. Slightly difficult to understand what he says, potentially because he has challenges with our language. Claims that everything young Master Bell, says is absolutely correct. Your Bell. I'm gonna assume you're called Jamie Bell until somebody tells me otherwise. Although in the morning he practiced chess at the chess house and educated the butler on his lack of military training. Sometime in the afternoon, Dr. Turner. Did I not have Turner? You know what? I probably dragged it somewhere else. They played together. He was very close to winning when the alarm was raised. I like that detail because, like, it speaks to the type of person he is. Yes, I was just about to win as well. It's an important detail for your murder investigation. Oh, today I watched the first episode of Columbo. So, you know, I should be better at this investigation. Never mind that Columbo only ever has one suspect. And he's like, it's you! And he just hounds him until he gives up. I needed something for the exercise and I'd been meaning to watch. I keep forgetting it's like a 70s show as well. The first episode's in 68. Because it's aged quite well. Well, it hasn't aged poorly at the very least. I think... what was I going to say? The thing about that show is because they reveal who the murderer is, you can always have the featured with person be the murderer. That is like if William Shatner or Leonard Nimoy turn up, they're the murderer because, you know, you already have Columbo. You don't need them to be any other person. But it means that, like, the murderers are always people of authority and, like... there's no sort of othering with the killers. They're always like positions of power and stuff like that because you need that dynamic to work with Columbo. Good evening, Siffy. I think that's how you pronounce your name. I need to finish Poirot. I've got about 8 episodes left. Skiffy. Damn. Speaking of mispronouncing names, let's continue reading this book. James. This is the first one we read. Yes! Yeah, I haven't watched any of the other Poirot stuff, or the films or anything. Ooh. My mum used to have all the books. I mean, the books are probably in the house. It's just nobody can legally go in that house anymore. Yeah, there's a website. Columbo does this as well. I love both of these websites, where you can go through every episode and there's like reviews and you learn out extra information. And there's a comment section. And they're the only websites, modern day, that work like as the internet did 20 years ago, with like genuine comment sections with people like commenting, and it's very little amount of weird adverts that don't belong there. Yes, yeah, it's a derelict house. It's a story I'm not going to go into, but those I mean, if the books are still there, they're certainly ruined. Oh, yeah. We couldn't. Well, specifically, my mother couldn't afford to keep up to fix the roof, and it just got worse and worse and worse. The house got destroyed over time. Billiam claims that planted and pruned. Okay, Billiam is clearly you because you plant. Planted and pruned all morning by the chrysanthemum bush, saw the young gentleman and the foreigner leave croquet and go up behind the manor. In the afternoon, moved to the rose bush. From there, saw Lord Augustus leave the fountain around noon. Let's put Bell. Well, we know who Coke is, but don't think we need a Turner. Thank you. Continued his work on the roses until the alarm was raised by Mr. Hill. Okay, we finally have the word Augustus. Okay, I've done a really poor job of there's Augustus sorting these words out. I'm just gonna briefly put these over there while they're not very relevant. And we'll hide Arthur Faulkner. Arthur Faulkner? Yeah. Alistair Coke. Yes. I like in one of the ITV episodes, they do a thing where he's at a play. Oh, it's the episode of Josie Darby in, but she's really young, and it's like Josie Darby was around one of the random voices in the first Assassin's Creed game. Anyway, and he's complaining about the show cheating, which is I imagine not in the books, but a lot of those books are reasonably short stories that have been stretched out. Not a lot of car chases in the books. I love Poirot car chases because it's always like either a really like very slow car or just like a couple of people running around just the garden. They're my favourite chases. But yeah, I painstakingly went through them all recently. Probably at the pandemic. It was pre-pandemic actually, but and I'm just going to do the same to Columbo. I forgot how old the Columbo things are. The first episode is directed by Steven Spielberg as well. Yeah, Poirot, some of the episodes are a little shifty with certain pieces of information, but generally the original stories definitely don't cheat. There's a show called not House, it's called, I always forget his name. I'm going to click on, oh look, some spilt sherry, that's important. his name's like House. And I know House is obviously a play on Sherlock Holmes. Church. Oh, what's his name? Garage. Shed. Series about a mystery writer. I like that the first episode of Columbo is about a murder mystery writer. Castle, that's it. There's an episode of Castle where I figured out the killer in the first 3 minutes, because I've not seen very much Castle. I've seen like one series. I thought it was okay, but the episode starts and they're in a room of a flat or something, and there's a dead person, and it's like, there's obviously a drug related situation, and Castle's like, right, we'll get the timeline correct. The murderer came in here, you know, they had a conversation, he killed this drug dealer, and then they go out and you can see there's an old lady that's been killed as well, and the old lady must have seen them, and he killed the old lady on his way out. And I'm like, cool, I know the old lady's the real target, because there's no reason why the show would have had Castle give me a timeline. He's not done that on any other episode. And then the landlord comes in and goes, oh yeah, she was a lovely woman. Oh, by the way, people were trying to buy up this block of flats. I'm like, cool, I know exactly. You did it. You, owner of the building, did it, because he wants to sell the house. I unraveled it in minutes. It took bloody Castle the entire episode. But like, that's just because of how that they framed that first scene. Made it really obvious to me what was going on. I am struggling a little bit with this, but I'm gonna sort these names out slightly better because they're all in a pile. That has not helped me. We know the surnames are Leopold, Valentine. I don't know where Augustus and Hell come from yet. Again, we know James Turner as well. I'll throw Turner away. We'll put James over there. Leopold, Gideon. Put Bell there. Podrick is a. There's a better way of doing this. That'll do. I'll figure that out. Yeah. And I never know whether that's like a tactic that you're really supposed to indulge in or not. Like a lot of puzzle games, not this one, but Stephen Sausage Roll, absolutely understood that you'd be using meta knowledge to solve it. Like the grid, you could always go like, well, the grid tells me that nothing on that grid is arbitrary. There's never any wasted space in the Stephen Sausage Roll. So if it exists, it's getting used in the puzzle. Also, because Stephen Sausage Roll will absolutely always take the long way round. Anyway, that's a really good game, Stephen Sausage Roll. It starts off immediately difficult. There is no ramp up. We're going to go through the letters again so we can get the names. I'll be a lot more comfortable if I knew the names. Leopold, frame per 2. Missing button, okay. Well, we know he's not Leopold. You're Leopold, okay. Leopold Blanchard. There we go. It is, I would argue, the best of the Sokoban style games. But it's absurdly difficult at times. And that sausage tower is ridiculous. They have to make. Join me for leisurely weekend at my good old Augustus and some fine fellows. You Augustus? You're the butler. You're Billiam, aren't you? Because Billiam does. I believe these are all surnames. No, they're all first names, even. Okay, at some point I will cross-reference all of these. I've been reading about Victoria Free because I've been I don't play many Paradox games, but I do watch all the videos because I just find the layout of those games interesting, but I'm just too lazy to actually learn them properly. And Victoria Free looks very shiny. I do like the idea of it, but I have also looked at the Reddit subreddit for that. And it's in an interesting place, like presumably all those Paradox games when they first come out. But they are absurdly complex. I can see why, yeah, there could be issues. And, you know, the player base would be the first people to spot those issues. I mean, they'd have to be, you know what I mean. Oops, missing some of those places. It's gonna make me find out where they all were. Yeah. You know what? Filling all this in, would probably is something I could go ahead and do. Yes, I played a little EU4 because I tried playing a little bit of Crusader Kings, and I thought, you know what? I'll try them all out. And the tutorial is not quite as friendly as Crusader Kings' tutorial. Also, it's all entirely in the corner of the screen, which is just thanks. That's difficult to read. What is that? That's going to become relevant soon. Oh, I've seen you. Oh yeah, I guess it's a Lemurian idol. Now that I think about it. Hence the symbols. Raiders and thieves. Okay, so he presumably got invited just to be framed. Let's figure out. Yeah, I like, once you know one of them, I imagine a lot more flows. The thing about Crusader Kings 3 is I'm pretty sure I played the tutorial to Crusader Kings 2 and I've watched somebody do it before. But like, you just sort of get into a rhythm of just claiming a country, attacking a country, and appeasing people. And I know the game's a lot more richer than that aggressive war loop, but it's the easiest loop to get into. I know a lot of people say you play it like a Sims, but it's like, I feel like it's quite difficult to play that game like The Sims. And like, I understand the researching and getting people married off and all that as well. But there's a little bit of middle game I haven't quite figured out to Crusader Kings yet. That's a pixel that people can't see because it's burnt on my screen. Well, I'm not going to be able to do these until I know their names. Oh, you were drugged, weren't you? Yeah. Okay, that's going to be the easiest one to figure out, actually. Yeah, you've won the game at that point. I've always my grand plan would always be to try and take over the world as Cornwall in all those games. But and I've seen people do it on YouTube. It's funny that people pick Cornwall as well. I guess because you can have a king of Cornwall. But I like the idea of Victoria 3 that you have, you know, you can bring... Your goals aren't to take over the world. In fact, I imagine that seems like it would be really difficult in that game. You know, picking your own goals is really neat. In a game that you can do that, and it's not that vague. We're going to be clicking through these a lot. Master Bell. That has to be the kid's name, right? Oh, I did that already. Okay, the butler was presumably in the room at the time. Because he was drugged. But I'll double check that, but... Leopold woke up, found the butler on the floor asleep. Leopold is, yeah, the loyalist. But he doesn't... Only one of those people need to be asleep, right, for them both to be able to claim that. That's a weird thing. Look how interesting this chess house is. Alistair... Come to the chess house and send the butler away. So he claims Gideon. I don't even know who Gideon is. I need to figure out these people. Sour. Okay, who's this? James. Chess house. Look, Alistair is at the chess house. Okay, so who's that? James. James and Alistair at the chess house. Why have I not done James Turner? Okay. I don't know who he is on this. I'm assuming he's the general, though. What is your job? Huh. This is very complicated for like one scene. Maybe they should stop letting people have sharp implements. Okay, that is missing because he's holding it. No, he's got one there. It's sort of interesting. Oh, no, no. Boomerang. Well, it's important we get that. Would it have done that? Saw Lord Augustus leave the fountain around noon. I'm doing it very slowly as well, so I'm probably spoiling very little. Okay, which one of you was... Ergin? Okay. Or Ergin? Herbs on the wall. Yes. Oh yeah, because it's gonna... We're gonna need that for this bit. Because that's how they were poisoned. So I will... Although I guess it's relevant to your eyes. And that means absolutely that guy was not sleeping. Not you. It's nice to be poked at. The black poppy. Sleep at whites of the eyes get pink tint. Yeah, that makes sense. But you, I'm pretty sure somebody else claims to have been put to sleep. Yeah. Dizziness fainted due to his weak heart, actually. Never mind. Mr. Spade. We've got a new... Okay, Lord Alistair. Alright, well... Mr. Spade. William Spade? We'll go with that. Or it could be you, actually. It could be... That's you. Oh, this is Podrick. Served. Okay. We don't know about Spade yet. No, you have to be Spade. You're gardener. Yeah, yeah. And Obradin absolutely used that logic a couple of times. Where the French dude was in the black and white stripy t-shirt, and I was like, oh, God damn it, I should have guessed that ages ago. You're Podrick. Leopold, yeah, okay, found Lord Leopold asleep. Okay, no, he does have the pink eyes. Well, just one of them. It's just the one pink eye, actually. Okay, we're getting there. I mean, I could probably guess the last names. Augustus Valentine. Stole his life just like out the doctor, smart man, since he saw through his lies. You're a doctor then. Okay. The Lemurian Lichen, thank you. Hyperconcentration on one thing, loss of perception of time, rapid blinking. Okay, so we know you are not the killer. I mean, it's probably you, to be honest. Are they just all getting high off the drugs? The Lichen, Lemurian Lichen. What did I say? Lichen. Lichen. I thought a lichen is a type of dog man. Okay, I was being... Do a kill. Am I missing a name? Gideon Bell.